In the previous episode of the series, our Tennessee Titans finally conquered the beast. We won our very first Super Bowl title, defeating the Carolina Panthers 45-20. Now our Titans have made it to the top of the mountain. We are the world champions, but we would like to stay at the top of the mountain for as long as we can. Today we'll be kicking off the long-term simulation of the series as we go through season number 6 of the franchise. Welcome everybody to the Tennessee Titans franchise here on Madden 23. In the last episode, as you guys all know, we won the Super Bowl over the Carolina Panthers in pretty dominant fashion, 45-20. And this is coming off two really close playoff games in the divisional round and the conference championship. So for this game to be a blowout was a little bit of a surprise for me. But we played really well out the gate with an early touchdown drive, followed by a Caleb Farley pick six. And then we did not let go of the pedal on the metal for the rest of the game. Romeo Coloci threw for 3 touchdowns, while Aram Ketchikan was picked off 3 times. The skill guys on offense produced, the offensive line produced, the defense produced, particularly the secondary. We have the 2 best corners in the NFL, and both of them went off. Cardell Simpson picked off 2 passes, while Caleb Farley was locked down in coverage, and his pick 6, in my opinion, was the biggest and most important play of the game, leading to him winning the Super Bowl MVP. So with Season 5 in the books and us being Super Bowl 61 champions, it's time to see what happens here through the long-term sim. Normally when I do a long-term simulation, I usually go through multiple seasons per episode, and that's what I plan on doing a little bit later on, but I'd like to go a little bit slower to start off here because we have so many connections to this league thanks to the NCAA Next Up dynasty that obviously ran in conjunction with this series, and I want to follow around the entire league, not just our team. So we're going to get through the offseason of Season 6, the regular season, and if we make it, the playoffs. We're going to start with the offseason portion, and we've got quite a few guys we have to re-sign. We've already been able to pay some of our key players who need new contracts, guys like Cardell Simpson leading the way, but there are some other guys who need new deals. We'll start with the retirements phase. None of our players are going to retire, but there are some other big names. Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Byron Jones, Michael Thomas, and others headline a loaded list of retirees. We've got a few key players, especially on defense, that we have to pay, and we'll start with Kevin Byard, who's now 34 years old. I want him to retire as a Titan, so we're going to sign him to a 1-year extension. Next up is Ed Oliver. I'm going to give him a 2-year deal. He will return. Chidobe Awuzie, I have decided to let go. As much as I love my boy Chidobe Awuzie, I think it's time. He's starting to regress quite a bit. I almost let him go last year, but I changed my mind at the last minute. But with Josh Parks and Amani Ward in the secondary, I think it's time. Jordan Ruffin, Muhammad McBride, they will also be let go. They're asking for too much money. I would agree with an extension for 3 years, though, with Brian Asamoah, a 2-year extension with our swing tackle, Sebastian Cross, and then a long 4-year deal for one of our backup corners, Colin McCain, whose development I'm really excited about. And then everybody else will be let go, specifically Awuzie. Ruffin, Rocket Reddick also leaving as well. So with that, we will head into free agency. We've got plenty of money, around $77 million to work with. Now, unfortunately, the free agency class ended up being terrible. The highest rated player here is Michael Pittman. I will say he usually performs really well against the Titans, but even so, him being the best free agent is not ideal. There are quite a few players from the Season 1 draft class in here, but not a whole lot of stars. The main guy I've decided to go after is linebacker Duck Chambers. I'm considering switching to a 4-3 scheme. I think he'd be a good addition along with some other players. Unfortunately, Duck ended up signing with Cleveland, and we did not bring anybody in through the first stage. We've still got offers out for Anthony Brooks, Malone Eaton-Jenkins, and Alshonzo Morningsworth. We added a few more depth players to the list, including former Notre Dame quarterback Baz Boyd. And after the second stage, we would have 3 guys accept and 2 more offers out there. We also have a 5th-year option here for Asher Gonzalez, one of our young linebackers, and I decided to say no. I do view Gonzalez as a long-term piece of the future, but I think an extension is actually going to be a lot cheaper than the annual value of a 5th-year option, so we are going to decline it and look to extend him this year. Here's a look at all of our free agent signings for this season, and here's a look at some of the moves around the rest of the league. Chidobe Awuzie ends up with the Los Angeles Rams. As for some other former Titans, Traylon Burks, after taking the year off, signs with the Saints. Jordan Ruffin is a Chicago Bear. Harrison Harrington signs with the Seattle Seahawks. And that's about it. So now we're going to move into the NFL draft, and I have not even looked at this draft class yet, let alone talked about it through episodes. I decided not to put the NCAA Next Up players who are still in college in these draft classes because I'm going to have them in the draft classes for the Madden 24 series. So, for example, Puma Whitlock, the Ohio State quarterback, will be in the first draft class in Madden 24. We've got two potential top 5 quarterbacks of Bruce Dobson out of Ohio and Michael Lindholm out of Harvard. Currently, DeAndre Harris out of the Ohio State is the number 1 projected pick to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are going to look to add a weapon for Masaru Lee and the offense. As for our selection, they ended up having us go with a safety. I don't think we're going to look at safety, considering we've invested draft picks into guys like Amani Ward and Hassan Drame recently, along with the guys we already have. The Eagles do end up selecting DeAndre Harris out of Ohio State with the number 1 pick in the draft. The Packers, after a year with Malik Willis, select a quarterback, Bruce Dobson out of Ohio. Melvin Chason, a running back, is drafted in the top 3. Puma Whitlock's white brother is a Raider, and Michael Lindholm out of Harvard is a Houston Texan. So the Texans are officially giving up on Kane Sanders, which really is not a surprise. Kane Sanders has really struggled through the first few years of his NFL career, and it looks like he is unfortunately a bust. But simulates our pick now at the end of the first round. Mostly chalk through the first 31 picks, and there were quite a few players I did like in this range with this selection, but I ultimately decided to move down 3 spots with the Baltimore Ravens and adding an early 4th round pick, 99 overall, in the process. There were 2 guys I was looking at, the second of which was Kyrie Hill, a linebacker from LSU. He went to pick right before us, but my ultimate target was still on the board, another linebacker by the name of Randall Massey out of California. He's only 21 years old, looks like a pretty good athlete. His grades across the board looked pretty good. Since this is not one of my custom-made draft classes through the Next Up series, I actually have to draft in this game like a normal person, so it might be a little bit of a challenge. We do not have our own 2nd round pick, thanks to a prior trade we made, so we're going to move all the way to the end of the 3rd round, where we select defensive tackle Walter McKenzie out of the University of Wyoming. He would have hidden development, but his initial overall rating ended up being rather bad, as you'll see. We just got the 3rd pick in the 4th round from the Ravens, and we're going to go with Raphael Johnson, a guard out of Auburn. He's not projected to go until the 6th or 7th round, but his grades look really good. He looks like a pretty solid athlete as well, so I was willing to reach down the board to draft a guy I really liked. With our own 4th round pick, I selected tight end Manny Wilkins out of Oklahoma State. With Muhammad McBride and Ezekiel Ayutundo gone, we need some depth here. We did sign Malone Eaton Jenkins to be the backup, but we're going to need another backup, so we're going to be adding Wilkins to the tight end room. Into round number 5 now, we decided to go back to the offense with a wide receiver by the name of Tyler Snead, 6'5", looks like a good athlete. I think there could be some long-term upside here with his athleticism, his size, and his overall ability. He would only come in with normal development, but 90 speed at 6'5" seems pretty intriguing. We do have 2 5th-round picks thanks to a prior trade. With our own 5th-round pick, we're going to go back to the offensive line with Dave Franklin, a center out of Oklahoma. We let Cam Jurgens walk, and we're going to need a new backup, so we're going to be adding Franklin to the room. If he's good enough, maybe we'll be able to let Carlisle Kaplan go, whose contract is up at the end of the year. Maybe Franklin can be the guy. I don't know. Into the 6th round, I decided to stick with the trenches, going with Levi Gary, a defensive lineman out of UCLA. His numbers across the board looked pretty solid, and he ended up being probably my best day 3 selection of the year. We do not have our own 7th round pick, though. We actually don't have any 7s, but I wanted Mr. Irrelevant, so I decided to make a trade with the team who has the final pick in the 7th round in order to get Mr. Irrelevant, that team being the Detroit Lions, and we would trade offensive guard Travis Brown in order to get the job done. So we get Mr. Irrelevant back, and with the final pick of the draft, I decided to go in the secondary with Caleb Whitaker, a cornerback out of Clemson. He's a little bit small at 5'9", but he's thick, 208 pounds. His coverage grades were a little bit better than most of the other corners on the board, and he tested fairly well at the combine. He ended up only having normal dev. So we only got 1 hidden dev player, although the Madden auto-generated classes are weaker than my own custom classes. The linebacker we picked in the first round is a 73, so that's not bad. And most of our other players are in the high 60s. The lowest player at 63 has hidden development, so I think overall we did a fairly solid job. Randall Massey, I think, is going to be a solid player down the line. As for the rest of the draft, the receiver of the Eagles got DeAndre Harris is a generational talent. I think he's going to end up with superstar X factor. The 2 first-round quarterbacks at the top look pretty solid. And then Washington also drafted a QB in the first round. The Chiefs also got an 81 overall running back because, of course, they did. So that'll bring us into the preseason here of season number 6. I would then simulate to the regular season. And let's take a look at our schedule. Our Thursday night season opener will be against the Bengals. We've got 5 primetime games in the first 6 weeks of the year. 7 primetime games total. As for our season goal, it's pretty simple. We ran it back for the most part with our core from last year. So the goal is going to be to win another Super Bowl. Let's build a dynasty. Here's a look at the lineup going into the season. The offense is literally the exact same as it was last year. And the defense is basically the same, except Chidobe Awuzie isn't here. I decided to stick with the 3-4 scheme. I thought about changing it to a 4-3, but we're going to roll with what we've got for now. So that's what the lineup looks like. Let's simulate through the first 4 weeks of the year, see how we do. And we did not get off to that great of a start. We only went 2-2. We are coming off a nice win against the Jets to get things rolling. But we would get a pretty big injury. R.J. Robinson suffered a compound foot fracture all the way back in week 1. He's going to miss most of the regular season. Through our next 3 games, we won all of them, including some blowouts with the Colts and the Dolphins. So we've been able to win 4 games in a row. We're 5-2 here at the deadline, starting to feel better about ourselves. But I do have some roster moves to go through. We've got quite a few players due for contract extensions. Scotty Pickens wants the bag. Elijah Bryant, Kevin Byard, Evan Smith, Josh Sweat, Jaquan Brisker, R.J. Robinson, Asher Gonzalez, Quinn Crew, Hot Rod Pryor, Carlisle Kaplan. There's a lot of guys here who need to be paid. And we'll start with Scotty Pickens, who's asking for quarterback money, and I think it's worth it. We will extend him. Elijah Bryant, we offered a 6-year extension. He looks pretty cheap, but he decided to say no. Evan Smith, we offered a 4-year extension. He would sign. He is back on the offensive line. R.J. Robinson, I decided to give 5 years. He would say yes. Asher Gonzalez is absurdly cheap. I'm going to give him 7 years. Declining the 5th-year option ended up being a very good decision by us. Devontae Turner Jr. is here. I've decided not to pay him. We're going to trade him to the Raiders for safety Athanase Gauthiero. He is also an impending free agent. He has superstar development, and I think he can be the long-term replacement at free safety, with Kevin Byard likely retiring fairly soon. So those are going to be the moves we make for now, simulating to week 17, because we are 9-6 and currently outside of the playoff picture. We lost 3 consecutive games after the deadline, then 3 in a row leading up to the bye week, and then we've split our last 2 games. So at 9-6, we're on the outside looking in, and because of that, I've decided to play the moments for our final regular season games against the Buccaneers and the Saints. The AFC is loaded this year, while the NFC is absolutely terrible. So it's going to be a challenge to get one of those final wildcard spots in the AFC. We're probably not going to win the division, as we are currently 3rd behind the Jaguars and the Colts. So we'll see how we can do here and play the moments against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are also 9-6. They've been consistently good over the last few years with Sterling Yorkshire at quarterback. We're going to hop in here early on offense. It is a 3rd and 1. Elijah Bryant up the middle. Good run for Bryant, who gets the first down. He's having himself another very solid season, although he is not under contract next year. And now we would get another 3rd down just a couple of minutes later, pretty close to the red zone at the 31-yard line, as it is a 3rd and 5. Romeo Colucci looks to throw it. Under pressure, he is sacked by Vita Vea. A big stop for the Tampa Bay defense, and so we're unsuccessful with that moment, but we will look to kick a 56-yard field goal here from Daniel Carlson. It is up, and it is right down the middle. The Titans are on the board. They lead 3-0. Good work there by Tennessee, despite not being able to find the end zone in what is a must-win game. As for the Buccaneers, they would do nothing, but then on their following drive, they would bring it into the red zone, and now we've got to get a stop. The problem is the Bucs have it at the 3. They're really close. Here's Yorkshire under a lot of pressure. Pass is tipped, and it's caught for a touchdown by Caden Reed. What a catch by Reed, who was an undrafted rookie back in Season 1. And he has developed into one of the best wide receivers in the entire league. The ball was in the hands of Athanase Gauthiero, but he couldn't catch it. In the second quarter, the offense would quickly respond, and we would bring it into the red zone with an opportunity to get the lead back. On 1st and goal, Romeo Carlucci would roll out to the right side, and he would connect with Kyle Pitts for the score, and the Tennessee Titans are back on top, as it is now 10-7. Good drive for the offense to get the lead back. Let's see what happens here over these next few minutes as the Bucs would march down the field. They've got a 3rd down and 16 at the 33-yard line, so they are in field goal range. It is a 3rd and long. Yorkshire looks to throw it. He goes short. Pass is caught by Darren Waller, and he's actually going to go backwards. Nice tackle there by Asher Gonzalez and friends. So we're able to get the stop. The Bucs would tack on 3. They would tack on 3 more to take the lead. And now our offense is going to get the ball here with a little over a minute with an opportunity to tie or take the lead before the end of the half. Here's Garrett Wilson to the left side. He's out of bounds to stop the clock. Tennessee brings it at midfield now. 2nd and 10 up the middle. Garrett Wilson again gets it to the 35. Tennessee's got to move quick, though, as they spike the ball with 20 seconds left on the clock. Now there's 16 seconds left. They still have the timeout in their back pocket, and it looks like they're going to have to use it here after a solid gain to the 25 by Scotty Piggins. So with 10 seconds and no timeouts, the Titans are really going to be going for the end zone at this point, and Kyle Pitts is wide open! Touchdown, Titans! Tennessee takes the lead to end the first half. Great play by Kyle Pitts, his 2nd touchdown of the game, and it is 17-13 going into the break. So into the second half now, the offense would march all the way down the field for the Buccaneers, and they would bring it into the red zone with a nice opportunity to get the lead back. It is a 3rd and goal, though, from the 4. Sterling Yorkshire under pressure. He is sacked by Harold Landry, who has had a phenomenal season for Tennessee. He's got to be at around 15 sacks now on the year. He has been great. And so the Titans will be able to hold on to their lead. The Bucs will look to bring you within 1, as it is now 17-16 off the field goal. Really close game here. Probably going to end up going down to the wire. We'll see if the Titans can build up a nice lead, though, here in the 3rd quarter with a big possession coming up. This is a great opportunity to look to take advantage, add some more points, and we would bring it pretty close to the red zone. It's a 3rd down from the 21-yard line, 3rd and 5 to be specific. And Corral will go short for Quinn Crew, who is able to get it, bringing it to the 15-yard line. Good play after the catch by Crew to fight for yardage. Here's Pickens, wide open for a score. Scotty Pickens has also had a phenomenal year. He's been one of the best receivers in the NFL. He is worth every penny in that $150 million extension that he just signed with us in the offseason. Scotty, of course, in his 5th NFL season now. So it's 24-16. The Buccaneers have it here with 7:39 left in the 4th quarter, and they're going to go for it here on 4th and 3 from the 39. Hand off to the fullback, and he does not get it. What a tackle by R.J. Robinson, who, of course, missed most of the year with a foot injury. Gets one of the biggest tackles of the entire season, and now the offense is going to look to pretty much ice the game here with some more points. 3rd and 8. Carlucci up the middle, incomplete for Scotty Piggins. The Titans are going balls to the wall here on 4th and 8. They are going to go for it. It's a play-action pass, and Romeo is quickly sacked by Josiah Wake, his 2nd of the ball game. A big stop there for Tampa Bay, and now they've got an opportunity to potentially tie it with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. 3rd and 3, short pass is complete to Caden Reed, who brings it to the 11. Nice play there for the Bucs, who are marching closer and closer to the end zone. 2nd and 4 now. It's a handoff for the running back. That's Najee Harris. He's in for a touchdown, and the Bucs can tie it. 22-24. It's time for a 2-point conversion to knot this one up. Biggest play of the game. Yorkshire goes short. It is caught by Waller, and we are knotted up at 24. So now the offense has their biggest drive of the season in a game that we cannot afford to lose. We've got to score here. 3 minutes and 24 seconds. That's more than enough time. No excuses. Hand off to Derrick Henry to get things rolling. And King Henry to the left side with a big gain of around 18 yards. Good start. All the Titans need here is a field goal, and they will take the lead. Obviously, they'd like more, though. Here's Henry again. Big play to the other 43 for a gain of 16 more yards. 2nd and 13. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Romeo Carlucci connects with Scotty Piggins, who gets the first down to the 29-yard line. So Tennessee is now in field goal range. They can look to chew some clock, but they're also looking for the end zone. Romeo rolls out to the right side on the run. He's going to keep it himself with a block from Scotty. Touchdown! Romeo Colucci with his first rushing touchdown of the ball game, and it's 31-24. What a run by Romeo Colucci, and now the Bucs get it back with a chance to tie it. 31-24, 3rd and 6. Yorkshire under pressure, goes short. That's a first down. Waller gets it before being wrapped up by Yorkshire's former TCU teammate Josh Parks. Waller again to the 44, out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. 2nd and 2 with 2 timeouts left. Short throw for Harrison. He is lit up in the backfield by Amani Ward. 3rd and 6 now, 35 seconds and a timeout left. Yorkshire goes downfield and is caught. What a catch by Caden Reed, who brings it to the 12. He put Byard on a poster. The Bucs are now out of timeouts with 15 seconds left on the clock. 2nd and 10, Yorkshire for the end zone. It is tied up. Caden Reed with his second score of the ball game. 31-31. The Titans are going to have 10 seconds left. They do have all 3 timeouts, as Colucci's going to look to fire it downfield. He is Pickens open, and it's overthrown. That was the ball game right there, but instead, we are going to overtime. You guys know the drill. Tails never fails, and sure enough, it lands on tails. The Buccaneers didn't see it coming. Tennessee wins the toss. They'll choose to start with the ball. They've got an opportunity to end it here in OT. We'll see if the offense can clutch up and finish this one off as the Titans look for their 10th win of the season. Going to start with a run up the middle. Derrick Henry with a strong start to overtime as he gains 13. 2nd and 9 now. Romeo under pressure. He is sacked by Josiah Wake, his 3rd of the game. 3rd and 17 now. Romeo takes a shot downfield. He has Pryor wide open. Hot Rod Pryor to the 20. Nearly got the touchdown, if not for being shoestring tackled right at the end. But still a huge play from Romeo to Pryor. Following play, Colucci up the middle for Garrett Wilson. Touchdown! That's your ball game, folks. The Titans win it in overtime, 37-31. What a win here for Tennessee in overtime here in Week 17. And with that, they are now 10-6. And we'll see if the Titans will potentially be able to get that playoff spot with one more week left to go. As we take a look at the box score and what ended up being an absolute thriller. Romeo Colucci was very good, throwing for 4 touchdowns in this one. We ran the ball well. Wilson and Scotty were both really good. Pitts with 2 touchdowns. He was impressive. And the defense, not the best, but it happens. So we're now 10-6, and I have some good news. Actually, I have multiple things of good news. First, Romeo Colucci wins Player of the Week. Also, interestingly, Q.J. Reddings wins it for Detroit because Clyde Williamson got injured very early into the season. So we are now projected to be the 7th seed. If we win this game, we clinch the playoffs. If we lose, it gets a little bit shakier. We're facing off against the 6-10 New Orleans Saints here in the Bayou. The Saints are not a great team, but with this game being on the road, and the Saints aren't horrible per se, you never know. Plus, they've got their Fire throwback jersey, so with that, anything is possible. We're going to play the moments once again. We start with a quick touchdown, and now it's time to get a stop here on the other end of the field. 3rd and 5 from the 45. Here's Yahya Marshall, the second-year quarterback out of Texas Tech. Won the Heisman as a senior. He is incomplete. Cardell Simpson nearly with the interception. So that'll force a punt, most likely. Yes, they do choose to punt it. On the following Saints possession, they would get another solid drive now early into the second quarter. 3rd down and 13 from the 24-yard line. We'll see what Yahya Marshall has in store here as he will immediately throw it away. Not really sure what the plan was there. So the Titans get the stop. New Orleans takes 3. It's now 7-3, and now it's time for the offense. We've got it at the 25. It's a 3rd and 2. The offense has been kind of slow to really get rolling here. But Elijah Bryant does get the first down to the 19. And with that, we are now in the red zone with an opportunity to potentially score and extend the lead. On 1st down, Colucci looks to throw it. He goes short for Kyle Pitts, who breaks the tackle. Can he get by the Honey Badger? Not quite. He gets it to the 1. The Titans are super close to making a 2-score game. We'll see if they can punch it in here on 1st and goal. As Colucci looks to throw it, and he connects with Scotty Pickens for the score. And it is now a 14-3 ball game. Good drive by the offense, and now we've positioned ourselves in a pretty good spot here with this current lead. We'll see if the Saints do anything. They don't, and now the offense has a 2-minute drill. We can make it a 3-score game potentially going into half. On 2nd and 1 at the 39, Colochi's under a little bit of pressure, floats it up, and it is somehow caught by Scotty Piggins at the 45. What an unbelievable catch by Piggins. On 2nd down, here's Bryant up the middle to the 32. Tennessee calls their second timeout. They still have one more left in their back pocket. 2nd and 10 now. Here's Colochi. Downfield for Elijah Bryant. He's in for the touchdown, and the Tennessee Titans are now ahead by 3 scores as it is 21-3. Good work here once again from the offense. And Tennessee's in a really good spot here. They've got a nice lead going into halftime, and we'll see if we can keep it going in the second half. We've got another early drive here in the third, looking to keep things rolling. As on 3rd and 1, Colochi's going to keep it himself. He will run for the first down, gaining around 6 or 7. That's all he needs, though, to keep the drive going for Tennessee. So the Titans get the first down. We'll see if they can end up scoring on this drive, as we've got another 3rd down, this time a 3rd and 4 from around the 37. Handoff for Derrick Henry up the middle, and he will get it. That was close, but he does ultimately get the first down. So we once again move the chains. After a big passing play, we now have it in the red zone at the 3. 1st and goal. Colochi will fire, and he connects with Scotty Piggins once again. Piggins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 10th of the season. Scotty Piggins has scored exactly 10 touchdowns in each of his first 5 NFL seasons. It's 28-3. Hopefully we don't blow it like Atlanta does. 3rd and 4, handoff for Bryant, and he looks like he's going backwards. He actually will gain positive yards. That was a good play by Bryant to fight forward, but he only gains 1. As the Saints get the stop, they'll get it back on offense, and they're going to look to go for it here on 4th and 13. The Saints are really throwing stuff at the wall, hoping something sticks. Here's Marshall. He gets the first down. Cardell Simpson tried to play for the ball, and it backfires. Good play by Marshall to keep the possession rolling. The Saints would eventually score. We would score right after, though. I think Elijah Bryant was the one with a long rushing touchdown. Now 4th and 1. The Saints are going to look to go for it again. It's a handoff up the middle, and the Saints do get the first down off the legs of Damian Harris. The Saints would bring it down the field. They would score again, and now they're going to look to go for an onside kick. They're down by 3 scores. It's really not looking good. And to make matters worse for the Saints, the kick is recovered by Derrick Henry. So with that, the Titans should be in golden position to finish out the game, finish the regular season 11-6, and most importantly, clinch a spot in the playoffs. We would get the ball in the red zone, though. A first down would pretty much officially end the game here, and Elijah Bryant gets exactly that, as the Saints are not even calling their timeouts, and it is over. 35-17 is your final. The Tennessee Titans get the win and are going to the postseason as they defeat the Saints by 3 possessions here in Week 18. The Titans needed to win their final 2 games of the year, and they do, positioning themselves for a playoff run. It's going to be a little bit more challenging, though, than last year. Not only do we not get a first-round bye, but we are a rather low seed. 4 more touchdowns for Colochi. He was quite good again. We did well on the ground. Scotty Piggins scored twice. Both offensive lines did kind of struggle, though. Josh Sweat got 2 sacks in this one, and then Cardell Simpson with 2 interceptions. So let's simulate the week, and we will, sure enough, be facing off against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the wild card round. Every team we've lost against in the playoffs in this series, we've gotten an opportunity in the playoffs to get revenge. In Season 2, we lost to the Steelers. We then beat them the following season. In Season 3, we lost to the Chiefs before beating them twice in a row. In Season 4, we lost to the Jags, and now we get a chance 2 years later to get revenge. Romeo Colochi had a solid season. The interceptions were kind of high, although he hasn't thrown an interception in about 4 or 5 weeks. We ran the ball quite well. Scotty Piggins had the best season of his career, 112 catches for over 1,500 yards. And then the defense was quite solid. The pass rush quite a bit better than last year. Landry with 16 sacks. Cardell Simpson with 4 interceptions. And Scotty Piggins even had a punt return touchdown. As for the major awards, Josh Allen wins his 2nd consecutive MVP. As for Romeo Colochi, he is not in the top 10 for the MVP. Scotty is 9th for Offensive Player of the Year. Harold Landry is 3rd for DPOY. Josh Sweat is in 10th. Romeo finishes 8th for Best Quarterback. Henry 8th for Best Running Back. Piggins 4th for Best Receiver. Sweat is 6th, and Oliver is 10th for Best Defensive Lineman. Landry is 3rd for Best Linebacker, and Cardell Simpson is 8th for the Best Defensive Back. Here's a look at your league leaders. I do want to take a look at some of the guys around the league, especially the players who have been drafted in this series, to really see where they stack up statistically. Obviously, one of the big storylines was the injury to Clyde Williamson, and then Desmond Ridder also got benched in Washington, which is weird because I mean, Ritter's been really good with the Commanders. Caden Reed with the Bucks has been a big surprise, former undrafted player. Some other young receivers who really impressed include Trayon Scott, drafted in the second round a few years ago by the Vikings. And then Hector Estrada with the Philadelphia Eagles had a great season. Their rookie, DeAndre Harris, was also really good. Rashawn Gary with a lot of sacks, 23.5 to be specific. As for the interception leader, it ends up being Fred Warner with 7. Of course, our very own Cardell Simpson finished with 4. We have this storyline, one last hurrah. It looks like somebody's retiring. I assumed it would be either Derrick Henry or Kevin Byard, and sure enough, it's Kevin Byard. When they showed Romeo on the screen at first, I was a little bit worried, but it makes sense that it's Kevin Byard. He's 34 years old. I could see why this would be the end for him. So hopefully we can get Byard a second Super Bowl championship before he ultimately hangs up the cleats. Let's hop into the wild card round. We're facing off against our division rivals, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who beat us in the AFC Championship 2 seasons ago in heartbreaking fashion, a game that we could have won if not for a missed field goal at the end of regulation from Randy Bullock. We'll see if the Titans can get revenge on Jacksonville, who ended up losing the Super Bowl that following season. And of course, the Titans have not lost a playoff game since, being that we won the championship last year. So we're already ahead 7-0, and we've got a third down defensively, looking to potentially get a stop here. We've already set the tone well on offense by getting some early points. Now the defense has to answer as well. The Jaguars would get the third down to bring them into the red zone. And on the following play, Bryce Berry III puts Cardell Simpson on a poster. What a play for Berry, and we're tied at 7. So now the next scenario is for us to play the entire next drive. I actually don't really hate this. We want to keep the momentum going, so I kind of get why this is a really important drive. And we're going to start strong with a gain of 17 yards for Derrick Henry. Following play from the 42, we're going to look for Elijah Bryant this time. Bryant to the left side with a big run, looking to truck the defender as he gets into the 41. Unfortunately, Garrett Wilson is hurt on the play. Wilson was worse this season than he was last year, but obviously he's still a really important player. On first down, here's Scotty Piggins. Gets by the defender, one man to beat. Doesn't quite beat him, but he gets into the 4 for a gain of around 37 yards. Good play there for Tennessee, and we will see if they are able to punch it in as it's a 3rd and goal. Colochi rolls out to the right under a ton of pressure, and he is sacked by Trayvon Walker. I'm surprised Trayvon Walker didn't intentionally injure him, just like he did with Malik Willis back in Season 2 of the series. And so the Titans will look to add 3 points. The kick from Daniel Carlson is good. And so it is now a 10-7 ball game. So we score on that drive. We didn't find the end zone, but still pretty successful as we are back on top. And then immediately we would get the ball right back in the red zone. I think we forced a turnover. Cardell Simpson fittingly with the interception. And so now we can make it a 2-score game. A huge play from Simpson. On second down, Garrett Wilson catches the short pass. He's back in the game. Brings it to the 4. And now on to the second quarter, 3rd and goal. Romeo on the run. Misfires for Kyle Pitts. He should have made that throw. What do the Titans do on 4th and goal at the 2? They're going to keep the offense out on the field and go for it. They've got a short yardage specialist in the backfield, and Elijah Bryant, who is in for the touchdown. He is grooving in the end zone as it is 17-7. So the offense makes another nice play, and the defense ends up getting a stop in the red zone, but the Jags score right back. So it's 17-14, and the offense will bring it right back into the red zone. 2nd and 2. It's Hot Rod Pryor. He's in for the touchdown. And the Titans are back up by multiple possessions. Good throw and catch by Romeo and Pryor. The offense has been phenomenal here in the first half, and we would have no score in the remainder of the second quarter. The Jags would add a touchdown in the 3rd, so now the offense has got to make a play. 3rd and 1 at the 38 with under 3 minutes to go in the quarter. It's a handoff for Derrick Henry, and he will get the first. That was close, but he does get it before being wrapped up by Al Cahal. The Titans would bring it into the red zone now. It is a 1st and goal from the 9, looking to extend the lead. Handoff for Derrick Henry. The King has re-entered his castle. Touchdown for King Henry. And it is back to a 2-score lead for the Titans, making it 31-21. So good work there by the offense. We score. Now it's time for the defense to get a stop. They don't. But we would immediately score a long touchdown pass for Elijah Bryant. And it's now 38-35. Under 3 minutes to go. We'll see if the offense can finish it off in the red zone. Scotty Piggins with the first down. He brings it to the 8. Good play there for the Titans. Now a 1st and goal. Following play, Colochi has a wide open rushing lane. He dives in for a score. Romeo makes his play with his legs, and it's 45-35. If you like points, this was certainly the game for you. We'll see if the defense can look to finish it off here. The Jaguars would end up scoring, and now they're going to go for an onside kick. With the game potentially on the line here in the wild card round, it's going to be picked up finally by Derrick Henry. We had too many guys bobble the ball, but luckily King Henry makes the play. Now it's time for the offense to chew some clock and finish her off. Can the Titans upset the 2-seeded Jags? On 3rd and 3, Colochi is sacked. Jacksonville makes the play. They call their last timeout, and the Titans will elect to kick. It looks like they do trust their defense to get a stop. 56-yarder from Carlson is up, and it is a beaut. Right down the middle, 48-42, and the Jaguars return. Can Trevor Lawrence lead them down the field for the win? They've got about 30 seconds and no timeouts, so I can't really say I like their chances. On 3rd down, here's Lawrence. He connects with Alvin Kamara, who annihilates Josh Parks. He's out of bounds, which stops the clock. Lawrence nearing 500 yards on the day. 2nd and 2 now. Trevor Lawrence downfield. Tip. Boink, boink, boink. Intercepted. Cardell Simpson finishes it off, and the Titans are moving on. A big turnover by Simpson, and Tennessee wins it on the road 48-42. That, my friends, is called revenge. Every team we've lost to in the playoffs, we've gotten back with them in the postseason, and we find a way to beat them. Really good performance here, especially from the offense. 48 points. That's a lot. Both quarterbacks were really, really good. Romeo Colochi was quite solid, as was Trevor Lawrence. Colochi with an interception. Trevor Lawrence, though, with 3. Not ideal for him. The big difference is that we ran the ball a lot better than them. Henry and Bryant combined for nearly 200, while Alvin Kamara had about 30. Scotty Pickens was great in the air. Bryce Berry and Kendrick Bourne, both very good for Jacksonville. 2 sacks for Harold Landry, 2 interceptions for Cardell Simpson. And then Josh Parks as well, the Onion, makes the play too. So far, so good on the final road to retirement, I guess, for Kevin Byard. 1 playoff game down, 3 to go. So since we're the 7th seed, we already know we're going to face off against the 1 seed in the next round, that being the Los Angeles Chargers, of course, led by Justin Herbert and company. As we take a look at the rest of the playoff bracket, the Chiefs and the Bills all won their game, so we will get another Mahomes and Allen playoff duel. As for the NFC, the 3 division winners won, so we will have Washington play against Green Bay, while the Seattle Seahawks will face off against Tampa Bay. So let's now hop into this matchup here against the Chargers, but before we do, Cardell Simpson, Player of the Week, with 2 interceptions, very well deserved because he is him. So let's now hop into the divisional round. We're facing off against the number 1 seeded 13-4 Los Angeles Chargers here on the road. The Chargers haven't consistently been that good of a team throughout this series, which is a surprise because they've got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, obviously led by Justin Herbert. Go Ducks. We'll see if the Titans can get another upset and move on to the AFC Championship for a 3rd consecutive season. So we're going to be playing the moments here once again, and we would get our first moment on the defensive side of the ball. The Chargers are in the red zone, but look who's in the game at quarterback. That's not Justin Herbert. That's Marquise Harris, the 2nd-year quarterback out of Cal. On 2nd down, Harris connects for nearly a 1st down, but I want to look at the injury report. Justin Herbert dislocated his ankle. He will not return to the game, so Marquise Harris will be playing quarterback. And the funny thing about this Chargers quarterback room is they also have former Titan Rufus Motley. The 2 California quarterbacks, Marquise Harris and Rufus Motley, are teammates together. Marquise Harris, of course, became the starter after Rufus Motley got injured, and Harris never let go of the starting quarterback position because he was a lot better than Rufus Motley. Marquise Harris had a great career at Cal, leading them to multiple college football playoff appearances. And now we'll see what he can do in the NFL playoffs with the Chargers. On 3rd and inches, Austin Eckler does not get the 1st down. He's wrapped up by Ed Oliver. And the Chargers are going to kick the field goal. They're going to play it safe, make the conservative call, just put some points on the board. And so they take the lead 3-0, although that drive really was not a good one for the Chargers because their star quarterback is out for probably the rest of the year. The Titans would quickly score. It's now 7-3, and now the defense has got to get another stop. It's a 3rd and 28. Marquise Harris is a very efficient quarterback, but he doesn't make a lot of big throws. This play is not really designed for him to make a play, but he does get around 16. I would count that a success for the Chargers. Now they're in field goal range. They'll tack on 3, and it is 7-6. Now the offense has it. It is a 3rd down from the 36. Colochi looks downfield. It's broken up. Piggins, the intended target. We're going to go for it on 4th and 3. The Titans are really going to grow a pair, try to get the first down on the ground, and Derrick Henry does not get it. Big stop by the Chargers, and it'll remain 7-6. The Chargers would bring it into the red zone. Good drive by Marquise Harris and the fellas. As on 2nd and 5. Harris looks to throw it for the corner of the end zone. It's hauled in for a score. So the Chargers take the lead. Devontae Smith with the touchdown, the former Heisman Trophy winner. It's 13-7. Chargers back with it. They would be stopped, and now we have a 2-minute drill hoping to take the lead. The offense really has not been all that good so far. It's really time to get moving as Scotty Piggins gains 19. Even though the offense has struggled, Scotty Piggins and Romeo Colochi both have been really good, as has Elijah Bryant, who brings it to the 42. Got to keep things moving. Around 40 seconds left in the half. Titans have 2 timeouts. Good run for Romeo. He will slide out of bounds at the 29. Good run by Romeo Colochi. 3rd and 10 now from the 29. Romeo in the pocket, waiting for somebody to get open, but he misfires for Scotty Piggins, and the Chargers will hold on to their lead going into halftime. Here is Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. This one from 46. It is up, and it is good. 13-10 is your score. With not too long left to go in the half, we would have no other score. Moving into the 3rd quarter, the Chargers would quickly drive it down the field, and now we've got to get a stop in the red zone. It is a 3rd down and 6 from the 14. Harris looks to throw it. He goes short, and it's dropped. Josh Parks with the deflection, ripping it out of the hands of Devontae Smith. Dorian Hickman, one of the Chargers' offensive guards, is hurt on the play. Field goal kick is good, and it is 16-10. Good drive for the Chargers, but it is still a 1-score game. Could have been a lot worse for us. So the defense gets the stop in the red zone. Now it's time for the offense to respond, and they would. We take the lead, 17-16. We get the ball back. It's a 3rd down and 6 with under a minute left in the quarter as Kyle Pitts gains 7. That is more than enough for a first down. Now to start the 4th quarter, Tennessee has it in the red zone. 2nd and 9 from the 18. Colochi pump fakes on the run. Connects with Hot Rod Pryor. He's in! Hot Rod Pryor with the touchdown. Welcome home, kiddo. Pryor, of course, played his college ball at the University of Southern California at USC, not too far away from here. And it's 24-16. The Titans lead by 8. They would get the stop. They're marching down the field again, back in the red zone. What a run here in the second half by the Tennessee Titans as they look to knock off the top seed. Romeo, where art thou? Romeo with a dot on the run for Scotty Piggins. The Titans extend the lead. It's now 31-16. Great job by the offense, and we'll see if they can finish it off here defensively and get the win. The defense does not get the stop, at least yet. The Chargers have it as a 4th and goal from around the 4. Rufus Motley is in the game now as his pass is broken up by Farley. The former Titan, Rufus Motley, has had to play because Marquise Harris suffered a shoulder strain. You got to feel for the Chargers. Good win, though, nonetheless, for the Titans as they knock off the number 1 seed, 31-16. The Titans are going back to the AFC Championship for a 3rd straight season where they will travel to either Buffalo or get a rematch with the Kansas City Chiefs for what would be a 4th consecutive year, I think. We play the Chiefs every year in the playoffs. Great win here against the 1 seed. We've now beaten the top 2 seeds in the AFC. Even with the Chargers being down to their 3rd-string quarterback, Rufus Motley, it is still an impressive win. Romeo Colochi played quite well. The Chargers quarterbacks all collectively were pretty solid. Marquise Harris had a good day. We ran the ball well. Scotty Piggins was good again. Luke Coghill allowed 4 sacks. If you remember, we almost drafted Luke Coghill all the way back in Season 1. But yeah, he got cooked by Harold Landry, who throughout this series has obviously been a really good pass rusher for us, but in the playoffs, he is a different beast. 2 down, 2 to go for the Super Bowl chase and Kevin Byard's final NFL games. Great work here by the Titans. We'll see if we can keep it going in the AFC Championship. Let's take a look at who we are going to face. And sure enough, we will get another battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat the Bills 24-21. While in the NFC, it continues to be chalk. The top-seeded Washington Commanders will face off against the 2-seeded Seattle Seahawks. It feels like we play against the Chiefs every year in the playoffs, and that's because we basically do. Well, for what it's worth, Romeo Colucci and Harold Landry win Players of the Week, along with Washington's rookie quarterback. And now we will face off against the Chiefs in the playoffs for a 4th consecutive season. We've got some major history with the Chiefs, and every time we play against them in the playoffs, it's a crazy game. Season 3, divisional round in Arrowhead, we got the loss. Season 4, divisional round in Arrowhead, we got the win. And then, of course, last year in the AFC Championship at home, we got the win. So we've got the upper hand on Kansas City 2-1. It kind of feels like the Chiefs are due. They are the 6th seed, and this is their first home playoff game of the entire year. So we've got a big drive here in the first quarter after getting a stop, and now the offense can take an early lead. On first down, Romeo on the run with a great pass for Scotty Pickens. He gets by a couple defenders and brings it to the 42. Not a bad way to start the game off. We'll see if the Titans keep things going. 2nd and 4 up the middle, Elijah Bryant. Way too easy. Bryant tormented the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship, and already he's on the board in this year's AFC Championship to put the Titans ahead 7-0. Good start to the game through the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, but we got to keep it going, and we will not. The Chiefs bring it into the red zone. They've got it at the 1, and it is a 1st and goal with time expiring in the first quarter. Kareem Hunt, back in Kansas City, gets the touchdown. So the Chiefs don't have Clyde Edwards-Helaire available. He's hurt. Patrick Daughtry left in free agency, so they've got a new duo in the backfield with rookie LaShawn Linton and Kareem Hunt, the former Chief, who's back in Kansas City. The Chiefs would get it back, and they would march it back into the red zone. The game started off really well, and things are going downhill rather quickly. Kareem Hunt on 2nd and 8, swerving through defenders, brings it to the 8, and now the Chiefs have it back on the goal line. Kareem Hunt wearing the number 14, by the way, just looks foul. 3rd and goal, short throw for Justin Jefferson. He is shy of the end zone at the 1. So the Titans are able to get the stop in the red zone, and the Chiefs are only going to look to kick the field goal. They're going to waste all the time off the play clock, and Harrison Butker will split it through the uprights. It's 10-7. So now the offense has basically a 30-second drill now. Colucci under a ton of pressure, goes downfield. It's incomplete, but we have a flag. Defensive pass interference on Kansas City. Automatic 1st down. The Titans get to move up to where the penalty was, and the clock stops. Jeremiah McDuffie called for the flag. The Titans still have 2 timeouts as on 2nd and 10. Colucci connects with Scotty Pickens. That'll go for a 1st down. Timeout number 2 with 13 seconds left on the clock now at the 22. 2nd and 10. Colucci's looking for the end zone. It's broken up, looking for Scotty Pickens. With there only being 4 seconds left, we're just going to take the points now. Kick from Carlson. It's close, but he makes it. And so we are tied at 10 going into halftime in what has so far been a defensive battle. Romeo Colucci has not been on his A game so far, and the offense needs to pick it up. We've got a 3rd down here early in the 3rd quarter. To be specific, it is a 3rd down, and wait for it, 3rd and 10 from the 47-yard line. Romeo drops back to throw it under pressure. Incomplete. He was under a ton of pressure on that play. Good work by the Kansas City pass rush. Chiefs get it back. They score a touchdown and take the lead, and now the offense is another 3rd down from the 43-yard line. It's a 3rd and 3. Handoff for Derrick Henry. He gets the 1st and more with plenty of rushing room as he gets it to the 26. Carlisle Kaplan, the center, is hurt on the play for the Titans, so they're without one of their starting offensive linemen for the time being. 2nd and 4. Short throw into the hands of Scotty Pickens. Gets by a couple defenders. Brings it to the 2. The Titans are very close now to the end zone, looking to tie the game up. And Elijah Bryant is in for his 2nd touchdown of the game. He scored twice last year against the Chiefs. He scores twice here today. And with that, we are now tied up at 17 with under a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Defense looking to get the stop. There's 8:12 left in the 4th, and we've got a 3rd down and 5. Mahomes looks to throw it, and his pass is broken up. Josh Parks makes the play, just the 3rd incompletion of the game from Patrick Mahomes. The defense forces a 4th down stop, actually, and so we would get it with great field position. It is a 3rd down and 6. Here is Colochi. His pass is broken up. Looking for Garrett Wilson, and the defense gets the stop. The Chiefs would immediately score, and they get the ball back. There's 3.5 minutes left, and we're in some trouble. We would end up getting the stop because I accidentally simulated the play, and then we would get it back on offense. 2nd and 10. Here's Garrett Wilson to the 36. This is easily the most important drive of the season so far. The Titans need a touchdown to tie it up. Kyle Pitts, tough catch. Does he get the first? Not quite. It's a 4th down and inches. Trent McDuffie for the Chiefs, slow to get up. So the Titans are going to go for it here at the 2-minute warning, and they will get it. Colochi with the QB sneak keeps the drive going. Now from the 42, 2nd and 10, handoff for Derrick Henry. He cuts up the middle, and Derrick Henry gains about 14 yards. The Titans need to be smart with the clock. Now that they have it inside the 10, they are in no hurry. 3rd and goal, touchdown, Pryor! Hot Rod Pryor ties the game up at 24 with just 26 seconds left on the clock. This game is going into overtime. So we do not have the winner through regulation, and it's time to hop into OT. As you guys know the drill, tails never fails. Titans win the toss. We're going to start with the ball. Now remember, with the new playoff rules, it's no longer a touchdown on the first drive ends the game, but starting with the ball does still help. Now the offense has got to be able to make some plays here. We do not want to have an early punt and let the Chiefs be in a situation where a field goal can win it. 1st and 18, Pickens drops a wide open ball. That wasn't a great throw, but there was no contest on the pass. He still should have caught it. 2nd and 18, Romeo Colochi connects with Garrett Wilson, who is a yard shy of the marker. 3rd and 1 now from the 45. Handoff for Derrick Henry. He will get the first and more. Henry to the left side, gains around 11. Good run for the King, Derrick Henry, and the Titans are moving it really well. This is a great start. From the 30 now, Colochi under pressure. He is sacked on the play for a loss of about 5. He's wrapped up by Chris Jones. 3rd and 12. Romeo looks downfield. It is caught by Scotty Pickens. He gets it to the 9. The Titans are now oh so close to the end zone. 2nd and goal. Handoff for Derrick Henry. He's in the zone, and he is in for a touchdown. The Tennessee Titans will take the lead here in overtime, 31-24. Now, it's up to the Kansas City Chiefs. On 1st down, Mahomes quickly connects. Good throw and catch to the 38-yard line. The Chiefs need a touchdown on this possession to stay alive, as it is now a 3rd down and 2. Mahomes up the middle, connects with Calvin Ridley. He'll bring you to the 47-yard line. The Chiefs are moving it quite efficiently, as on 2nd and inches, they get another 1st down. Kansas City now with it at the 29. They're getting closer and closer to this end zone. 3 minutes to go in overtime number 1. Mahomes looks downfield, goes back to Ridley. He gets it to the 14. The Chiefs offense certainly doing their part here on this possession. Now with under 2 minutes to go, it is a 2nd and 4. Mahomes under pressure. Goes short. It's caught, and we are tied up. 31 apiece. So the Titans score, and then the Chiefs score. Carlos Bellotti III, the young tight end out of the University of Houston, makes the play, and now the offense returns, and now it's a first score wins scenario. 3rd and 8. Romeo looking to throw it. He's under pressure. Hit as he throws it, complete. So the Kansas City Chiefs get the stop, and they'll get the ball back with a chance to potentially win the game. All the Chiefs need is a field goal. What an opportunity here for Patrick Mahomes and the boys. 2nd and 10 with 53 seconds left. Mahomes' pass is intercepted! Cardell Simpson picks it off, and he's going to send the Titans to Super Bowl 62! A game-winning pick 6 by Cardell Simpson! What a play for the Tennessee Titans, and Cardell Simpson comes up clutch once again. He jumps the route for Calvin Ridley and takes it to the house for a game-winning pick 6 in overtime here in the AFC Championship. What a play by Cardell Simpson to finish off the game and win the Titans their 2nd consecutive AFC Championship. The Kansas City Chiefs has now been eliminated by the Titans here in the playoffs in 3 consecutive seasons. Somebody ought to get a paternity test out here because I think Cardell Simpson might be the father of the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh my goodness, what an absolute thriller here against Kansas City. Of the 2 quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes was definitely better. The interception was a big deal though, but other than that, he was good, while Romeo Colucci really did not look like himself. We ran the ball pretty well. They did too. Scottie Pickens, 11 catches for 168. He did have some bad drops, but other than that, he was really good. The defense was not so good, but when we needed a play, we got it from Cardell Simpson. 3 down, 1 to go. We've got one more game here against either the Commanders or the Seahawks. And if we win it, we'll be back-to-back champions, winning ourselves another Super Bowl here in season number 6. Let's take a look at the team we will be facing off in the Super Bowl. Will it be the top-seeded Commanders or the 2-seeded Seahawks? And our matchup will be against Seattle. The Seahawks take care of business against the Commanders 20-17 with a great performance from quarterback Jackson Kayuma, while the rookie Esteban Castillo really struggled. The Commanders have now been killed in the NFC Championship 2 years in a row, last season by Carolina, this year by Seattle. Cardell Simpson ends up winning the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for the 2nd time here in the playoffs. Let's take a look at the Pro Bowl roster. Obviously, no Titans will be here considering, well, we've got better things to do. We are going to the big game against the Seattle Seahawks. We do have a lot of the young players from the NCAA Next Up series who are Pro Bowlers, which is really cool to see. A lot of these guys starting to enter the primes of their careers at 25, 26 years old. And now we make it to the big game against the Seahawks. This is going to be it for Kevin Byard, his final NFL game, and we'll see if we can get him a 2nd Super Bowl ring before he calls it a career and likely enters the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's been an incredible career for KB, and we're looking to finish it off right with a Super Bowl win against the Seahawks. For the first time in the playoffs, I feel like we are the team expected to win this game. Even though Seattle is the 2 seed, they're only 10-7. They're worse than us. So we'll see if we can get the win here and potentially look to start a dynasty against Seattle. The reason why they are the 2 seed at 10-7 is because the NFC was absolutely horrible. The number 1 seed, Washington, was 11-6. That's the same record as us, and we were the 7th seed in the AFC. Let's take a look at this Seahawks team who, despite only going 10-7, was one of the better teams in a very competitive NFC. The Seattle Seahawks have been able to keep a large chunk of their core, led by 27-year-old starting quarterback Jackson Kayuma in his 5th season out of Arkansas. Kayuma was drafted in the 2nd round of the very first draft of the series by the Dolphins. After he didn't play for a year, he was traded to Seattle, where he's been the starter over the last 4 years. We got to see Kayuma in a big game back in Season 1 in the Orange Bowl. That game ended up going into 4 overtimes, and Kayuma's Arkansas Razorbacks ended up losing to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, led by our good friend Garrett Pace. The Seahawks have a good group of receivers, including 95 overall tight end Latrell McAllister, who was a first-round pick in Season 2 and has lived up to the hype. The Seahawks have a lot of talent defensively. Roman Horn II was the 3rd overall pick in Season 1, and he has lived up to the billing as a top defensive draft prospect. So here we go, Super Bowl 62 here in Tampa. The Seattle Seahawks at 10-7 look to win their 2nd ever Super Bowl championship, while the Titans also look for win number 2. It wouldn't just be their 2nd ever Super Bowl, but their 2nd Super Bowl in a row. We'll see if the Titans can get the job done. We're fully healthy. We are ready to go. We've won 3 games in a row on the road as the 7th seed, and now we will look to be the first 7th seed in NFL history to win a Super Bowl. So Seattle would immediately drive down the field and score a touchdown. Not a great start. And now we'll see if the offense can respond. 3rd and inches from the 37-yard line. It's a handoff for Derrick Henry. He gets the first down. I know all the attention is on Kevin Byard retiring, but I'm not convinced Derrick Henry sticks around. He's getting older, and we could see him retire as well. The Titans would bring it into the red zone now, potentially with an opportunity to tie the game up. From the 18-yard line, it's a handoff for Elijah Bryant with room. He brings it to the 6. Good run for Bryant, and now the Titans are pretty close to the end zone as they look to punch it in and potentially tie it up. On 1st and goal, Colucci is sacked by Roman Horn. We got a good look at Roman Horn a couple years ago. He had 3 sacks against us, mainly because Nick Petit-Frere was a turnstile at right tackle. And funny enough, Nick Petit-Frere is now on the Seahawks. On 3rd and goal, touchdown for Scottie Pickens. Michael Pinkins is hurt on the play for Seattle. I think he's a rookie because I have no clue who he is. So Seattle would get the ball. They would again march it down the field. They had the 3rd and 10 from the 40. So far, the Seahawks offenses look great. Jackson Kayuma looks extremely comfortable in the pocket as he would connect. A great throw here for KJ Hamler, who brings it to the 16-yard line. Kayuma 6 of 8 with around 100 yards here in the fourth quarter. And now Seattle has it in the red zone with an opportunity to take the lead right back. About 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 16. It's a handoff for Kenneth Walker. K9 breaking tackles. He brings it to the 4 as Christian Fritton-Smith, the center, is hurt on the play for the Seahawks. First play of the second quarter now. 2nd and goal from the 3. Back to K9, and Kenneth Walker is in for a touchdown, and the Seattle Seahawks are going to regain the lead. Looks like we got ourselves a pretty competitive game so far. The Titans will get it back. They would march all the way down the field, and now Tennessee has it in the red zone. 1st and 10 from around the 17-yard line. It's a handoff for Elijah Bryant. Eli has room. Elijah Bryant is in for a touchdown. The Titans are going to tie it up at 14. Unlike the Carolina Super Bowl, this game has looked awfully competitive so far. The fellas are rowing the boat in the end zone as we are tied up. We'll see if the defense can get the stop, and they do. The offense takes advantage. They march all the way down the field again, and we will look to take our first lead of Super Bowl 62. 3rd and 4, it's intercepted! Jamin Davis picks it off in the red zone. A costly turnover by the Titans, and Seattle will get the ball back. When Jamin Davis was a free agent, if you remember, we went after him. This was the season 3 offseason. He obviously ended up signing with Seattle. He gets an interception. And then to end the second half, nobody did anything on offense until a long touchdown reception for Elijah Bryant would put the Titans ahead. We're now at the end of the third quarter after the Lon Bryant touchdown. It's 21-14. 3rd and 7. Kayuma under pressure. He is sacked. Josh Sweat leading the way. Gonzalez and Robinson were there as well. Seattle's going to get called for the hold. It'll be against Nick Petit-Frere. Isn't that funny? The former Titan. So the penalty is declined, and now the Seahawks, on their next drive, would bring it back into the red zone. 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line. The defense looking for what would be one of the biggest stops of the series. Here's Kayuma under pressure. He is sacked on the play. Good work by the defense as Ed Oliver appears to be shaken up. And so it is now a 3rd down and 16 for Seattle. If they don't get it, what do you do here? Do you kick or do you go for it? Kayuma looks to throw it under pressure. His pass is intercepted! Cardell Simpson does it again! He rips the ball out of the hands of Shai Jones-Porter, and the Titans force a massive turnover. Cardell Simpson makes another big play. He had 2 interceptions last year in the Super Bowl. I would not be surprised if Cardell Simpson damn near has gotten an interception in like every playoff game he's played in the last 2 years. Both teams would stall their next offensive drives, and so the offense will get it back with 3.5 minutes left. This is our chance to close out the game and win the Super Bowl. Romeo will look to throw it on 1st down, and he connects with Scotty Piggins, who will reach over to keep the drive going. 3rd and 3 now. Huge play right here. It's a handoff for Derrick Henry. He'll get it with ease. That's a 1st down, and the King brings it to the 2. Seattle calls timeout number 2. So the Titans are very close here to scoring once again. We don't know how much longer Derrick Henry has in the tank. This maybe could be his last game, so we want to make sure he gets himself another touchdown. And the Tennessee Titans extend the lead. The King has once again entered his castle. It's 28-14. We're going to play out the rest of this game. So Seattle needs a touchdown, an onside kick, and another touchdown, and they have no timeouts to do it with a little over 100 seconds. While I don't like their chances, I suppose it is possible. On 1st down, Kayuma looks to throw it. He's under a little bit of pressure, goes downfield, pass is caught, and the Seahawks will bring it to around the 50. Not a bad start, but they're going to have to keep it moving. 2nd and 7, under a minute to go now. Kayuma way overthrows it, but we have a flag. You can't be getting late hits on the quarterback at this stage in the game. It is a roughing the passer called against R.J. Robinson. Seattle would move up to the 32, and the clock stops in the process. So now on 1st down from the 32, here's Kayuma. Goes short for Kenneth Walker. Jukes away from the defender, brings it to the 20, but they've got to move even quicker now. About 30 seconds left on the clock. 1st down. Here's Kayuma with another good throw into the hands of Shai Jones-Porter, the former Penn State Nittany Lion. He brings it to the 1. The Seahawks will be unable to punch it in on the next 3 plays, so with 2 seconds left, it's 4th and goal. Final play of the game, not really going to matter, as it is dropped in the end zone by KJ Hamler, and this game is over. The Tennessee Titans have won their 2nd consecutive Super Bowl. They take it home here against the Seattle Seahawks 28-14. This felt like a lot more of an improbable run compared to last year. We were the number 7 seed. We were out of the playoff picture with 2 weeks left to go in the regular season, and we won 3 playoff games on the road. A couple of close battles against the Jaguars and the Chargers, and then that crazy game in the AFC Championship against the Kansas City Chiefs with a game-winning pick 6 from Cardell Simpson, and then we finish off the job here in the Super Bowl. I'll let you guys see the rest of the celebration, and I'll get back in a minute as we look at the box score. What a fun season this ended up being for our Tennessee Titans, who have now won championship number 2. Romeo Colucci had a good performance. The interception was bad, but other than that, he was quite good. Jackson Kayuma started the game off really strong, but then after like halfway through the second quarter, he forgot how to play. Elijah Bryant was really impressive. He had a 92-yard touchdown reception. He was good on the ground as well. He makes a case for the Super Bowl MVP. And then defensively, we sent quite a bit of pressure. Shout out to Cardell Simpson, who had a huge interception in the 4th quarter to help us get the win. So we were able to complete the storyline for Kevin Byard, who wins his 2nd Super Bowl championship. He will ride off into the sunset as a 2-time champ. And I think him retiring now, it feels like it was time. With the addition of Athanase Gotharo, I want him to get more playing time because he's really good. Kevin Byard apparently is not even on the roster, so this is real. He is retiring. Luckily, I was able to find him in the legacy leaderboard, so we are still able to properly reflect on his career. But what a run it has been for Kevin Byard, who retires here leading up to his age 35 season. He's still an 89 overall. He really did not regress that hard. And he was obviously a great player the second he was drafted to the Titans in 2016. In just his 2nd season, he had 8 interceptions, multiple seasons with 4+ interceptions. In the series, he had 4, 5, 4, and then only 2 interceptions over the last 3 years, but still really solid. Only a 2-time Pro Bowler, but a great Tennessee Titan. He's going to enter the Hall of Fame most likely. He's going to certainly be like a Ring of Honor guy for us, jersey retirement, all that. Elijah Bryant and Cardell Simpson win the Players of the Week, as Elijah Bryant ends up winning the Super Bowl MVP. Good for him. As the backup running back, he still is able to find a big enough role to where he's able to make plays and ends up winning the MVP of the Super Bowl. So with that, our Tennessee Titans have won back-to-back championships. And what does this mean going forward? So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I know it was a long one. Certainly a different style of video here. Normally when I do the long-term sim, I like to go faster so we can get through a lot of seasons, but I do want to start off a little bit slower, as you can tell today. I would like to go faster, though, in the next episode, try to get through 2 seasons, maybe. I think I went through this season a little bit too slow, but it was still a really fun season and a really fun episode. Nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out. Tighten up.